Hi everyone, thanks for starting your morning with some farm and ranch news. The Montana Stock Growers Association is expressing concern over the listing of the Wolverine as a threatened species by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. A large portion of the Wolverine's habitat spans Montana, and the service's decision did not include any exemptions for agriculture. Now, the stock growers say the listing has the potential to impact ranchers and their management practices for grazing in areas where wolverines live. Last week, Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks notified the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service of its intent to sue the agency over the wolverine listing. FWP was supported by Governor Gianforte, Senator Daines, and Representative Rosendale. Well, rail is a critical mode of transportation for ag commodities, particularly grain. And there is some good news for farmers and grain elevators here in 2024 on the cost to ship products. Jim Titsworth, General Director of Agricultural Development for BNSF Railway, told me about the company's decision to implement a rate decrease this year of $500 per car.
And we think about what's going on in the global marketplace today, competitiveness of U.S. grains, and trying to stay into those markets that all of us have worked so hard to develop. When we were looking at the marketplace and what was available in the country to move and what was demanding in the world, we looked at it and said it's time that we take an adjustment to make that work a little bit better, and so we did.
Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here shortly to talk about our markets.
We asked Montana farmer Walt Sales about the challenges of mental health in agriculture.
Another drought, there always is. There's always going to be another something. I grew up in a generation of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps, but it's become evident is what do you do if you can't even find those bootstraps? If you need to talk to somebody, go to beyondtheweather.com for free counseling for Montana ag producers.
Thanks for joining us back here for the Ag Report. The cattle industry is supporting newly introduced legislation that would require clear labeling on plant-based or cell-cultured protein products to differentiate them from real meat. Under the bill, plant-based protein would be required to be labeled as imitation. And for lab-grown products created from animal cells, products would need to be clearly labeled as lab-grown with a statement that the product was not produced by traditional methods. No lab-grown beef has been approved for sale in the U.S., but USDA has approved a lab-grown chicken product. Well, a slight dip in the cattle futures, mostly related to profit-taking, but really the market has trended higher here in 2024. Cash trade just starting to flow in, mostly steady so far, but looks like we could see values move higher. Sharply higher prices on the light calves in Miles City this week. Upper 4-weight steers 330 to 350, 550 to 650 pound steers 293 to 312, and a lot of the 4-weight heifers 290 to 315. Higher prices on the lambs and slaughter ewes in Newell, and a big run of 4 to 6-year-old bred ewes sold at $235 a head. And mostly red ink in the grain market, with winter wheat leading the way down, as substantially improved winter wheat conditions compared to last year do remain a price limiting factor. However, I've heard from a lot of guys that are saying this could be one of the best winter wheat crops in Montana in over a decade. Well, that's going to do it for this morning's report. Thanks for joining us and have a good day.